Hello class. Today I'm going to go over our homework for Unit 1, Lesson 1, Decimal Expansion. So in our homework we had 6 math problems. We were asked to convert it from a fraction into a decimal and then determine if they are terminating or repeating decimals. So let's start with problem number 1. We have 2/3. As I taught in class, fractions mean division. So 2/3 is the same thing as 2 divided by 3. 2/3 is less than a whole unit because the 2 is less than 3, so it's less than 1 altogether. So 3 cannot go into 2. So up here we're going to put a 0 and then decimal point, letting us know that it's less than 1. After we put that, we add a 0 into here, and we try to see how many times can 3 go into 20. 3 goes into 20 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. We subtract it, we get 2. Add a 0, bring it down. 3 goes into 20. Again, 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. And again, we have a difference of 2. So that's going to tell me that we're going to keep getting the same answer for remainder as we go, creating 6's all along the top. So this is an example of a repeating decimal. So 2/3 written out in decimal form is 0.6 repeating. And we notate the repeating 6 with a bar above it. Number 2, 11/9. This is a fraction, and when the top number, the numerator, is larger than the bottom number, which is the denominator, that's called an improper fraction. So it's greater than 1. Still, we follow the same process. Top divided by the bottom. So 11 divided by 9. 9 goes into 11 one time. 1 times 9 is 9. Subtract it, we get a difference of 2. Add a decimal point, add a 0, bring it down. 9 goes into 20 2 times. 2 times 9 is 18. Subtract it, we get a 2. Add a 0, bring it down, and 9 goes into 20. Again, 2 times. 2 times 9, 18. 20 take away 18 is 2. And so I'm going to have yet again another series of a repeating number. In this case, it's a 2. So 11/9 is equivalent to 1.2 repeating as a decimal. Number 3, 6 divided by 11. 6 divided by 11. Making sure I'm getting this on film here. 11 cannot go into 6, so we put a 0 on top, add a decimal point. Bring a 0 down here. 11 goes into 60 5 times. 5 times 11 is 55. Subtract that from 60 and we get 5. Bring down a 0. 11 goes into 50 4 times. 4 times 11 is 44. Subtract 44 from 50 and we get 6 as a remainder. Add another 0. Bring it down. 11 goes into 60. Again, 5 times. Starting to look like a pattern. 60 take away 55 is 5. 0. Bring it down. 11 goes into 50 4 times. Let's see. Let's see, stand further back, huh? Well, anyways, 4 times 11, 44. And you see that we're getting a 6 again, and we have a repeating decimal on top. So 6/11 is equivalent to 0.54 repeating. Let's go to the next problem. 3 divided by 8. 3 divided by 8. 8 cannot go into 3, so we put a 0, decimal point, and a 0 below. 8 goes into 30 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract 24 from 30 and we get 6. Add a 0, bring it down. 8 goes into 60 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract it and we get a difference of 4. Still not done. Add a 0, bring it down. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. Right on the nose. With 0 for remainder. So our decimal terminates. 3/8 is equal to 0.375 as a decimal. Next, problem number 5. We have 5 divided by 6. 6 does not go into 5. Add a 0, add a decimal point, add a 0. 6 goes into 50 8 times. 6 times 8 is 48. Subtract and we get 2. Add a 0, bring it down. 6 goes into 20 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. Get a difference of 2. Bring the 0 down. 6 goes into 20 3 times. And now we see we have yet again a repeating decimal. So 5/6 is equivalent to 0.83 with the 3 repeating. Last problem, 5/11. Fractions mean division. 5 divided by 11. 11 cannot go into 5. It's a 0. Decimal point, bring down a 0. Add a 0, sorry. 11 goes into 50 4 times. 50 subtract 44 is 6. Add a 0, bring it down. 11 goes into 60 5 times. 5 times 11 is 55. We get a difference of 5. Add a 0, bring it on down. 11 goes into 50 4 times. 4 times 11 is 44. Starting to look like a pattern again. And 11 goes into 60 5 times. So 5/11 is equivalent to 0.45 repeating. And that concludes the homework correction for Unit 1, Lesson 1, Decimal Expansion. Thank you.